Let's take a quick look at the foam Tonfa. Now, these were developed for kobudo kumite purposes in that when you're using weapons for fighting, it's very easy to get injured, especially with hard wood and metal. So the idea behind creating foam padded weapons is that you can create contact without actually hurting each other. Implementation of this is difficult, as you might imagine, and items such as this have some pros and some cons, and I'd like to lay it out for you really quickly. So, let's start with a few pros. The foam padding on this is pretty high quality and it has good thickness. So when you make impact with yourself, in whatever variety, there's no injury done. You can feel it, but no damage. The other good thing is that the wood used in this has a nice dense feel to it. So it resembles the feel of an actual pair of Tonfa. It would have been quite possible for the makers to simply create a PVC version and you can flip it around, kind of like foam nunchaku if you've ever handled them. Very light, don't really have the same sensation as a pair of nunchaku. These have the same sensation as a pair of Tonfa. Now, some of the cons. First of all, if you're not careful with the foam, it can break down on you very easily. If you make contact with wooden weapons, or especially metal weapons, you can cut chunks into this foam very easily. So it begins to degrade and you have to make perhaps duct tape repairs as you go. So go into it knowing that if you make contact on trees and other hard objects, you're going to tear it up. Also, the handles on these are not glued in. They're attached by the foam, but they have a tendency to get loose and to pop out on you. So you'll likely have to go in, re-glue the handles, cinch it back up, and make sure it's ready to go. So you'll probably encounter that after a little bit of use. The edge caps are also hard, so if you're using a thrusting technique, you'll encounter hard surface, so something to be aware of and to be careful of. But overall, I really enjoyed putting these through their paces, liked using them. We had them contacting, of course, the body and other foam weapons, and they seem to hold up pretty well. So this is something to consider if you'd like to get into kobudo kumite in your training.